What's going on there, folks? Earthmaster here, jumping in on this beautiful Wednesday evening. May 19th is the date, about 8:27 p.m. West Coast time here. The year 2021. Can't forget that, right? Taking a look at the Earthquake 3D globe here shows the recent earthquake activity over the last 24 hours. Pretty much calming down along the western Pacific over here, around Japan area. We've seen quite the uptick. Yesterday and today, that 6.7 should probably drop off the globe. I should bring it down to right there. I think I had it at about 26 hours or so. I don't think it's supposed to be on there. There we go. Last 24 hours of earthquake activity ramping up over here in the South America region with quite a bit of deep movement. We haven't seen any renewed increase within the past couple hours, but still watching this area for some possible movement. We are looking at Puerto Rico on the uptick on earthquake activity. Let's go ahead and check out their zooming in map here on the Puerto Rico area. You can see the latest quake is in the Puerto Rico area, right at the southwest area once again. This is a region where we've seen past swarms historically in recent historical times, like, I don't know, past year or so. Tend to get these little clusters of swarms, and a little bit more than that. Let's see if these guys are showing anything microquake. They're not showing it. I'm sure there is microquake activity popping off there though, but USGS just not showing it. So watching this area, the depths of this earthquake. These earthquakes here about 10 to 16 kilometers, and they're within that vicinity of where we see typical swarming. And of course, you got up here the Puerto Rico Trench region. This is a pretty seismically hazardous area when it comes to potential big quakes, including the what is that? Muertos? Is that right? Muertos trough. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I do know my Spanish. Sometimes I just can't spit it out as soon as I turn the microphone button on. It never fails. So this area very, it's got a lot of danger in this region here for a potential large quake. So right now, though, nothing major going on, just a couple, handful of 2s and 3s in that region, but keeping an eye on it pretty closely. Texas and Oklahoma getting in on the action again with some earthquake activity in that area. Nothing big, a little earthquake right smack dab in the New Madrid fault system once again. That's the area of some pretty significant large quakes back in the early 1800s. Series of large 8-pointers struck this region, and man, did it do some damage. If that were to happen today, it would not be good for this region. And of course, this would be broadly felt throughout the entire eastern, probably like east of the Rockies and eastward. Over here, I'm not even joking. That's 8-pointer. They can do some damage a long ways away. Pretty significant area. Let's see what else we got here, folks. Zooming into the west coast, kind of seismically active today. We've seen a little bit of uptick in the Ridgecrest region. Let's go ahead and drop down all these magnitudes here to the 2.5 and above. You can see that 3.6 that kicked off there short time ago. Around looks like Trona area, east of Ridgecrest, northeast of Ridgecrest area, along the what's this valley here? Panamint Valley. I was just down there a little bit ago, exploring some regions. Argus Mountains, very dynamic area down there. Let me tell you, it's pretty a lot of plate tectonics, pressure, and what's the word I'm looking for? You can really see the dynamics of how the plates are crushing and lifting and doing all their things when you're in that area, even from ground level. It's pretty crazy. Let's see here. Let's go back to the all magnitudes here. So yeah, most of the activity popping off near Ridgecrest is below the 2.5 threshold, but we did see a little increase up here to the northeast where that 3.6 struck there near Trona area. So kind of keeping an eye on that region. Also some further movement up here to the north around the Long Valley super volcano, but nothing significant, just some small microquake activity popping off there. and also Nevada. Just seen a few quakes throughout the desert region there. Let's see here, Southern Cal. We're starting to notice this here. I seen this earlier. It's nothing big yet, right? But it is a little cluster of microquakes at the Salton Sea region once again, and right at the southern end of the San Andreas Fault Zone, the monster sleeping section, so to speak, taking place right around the Brawley seismic zone, which is an extensional fault system of the plate boundary, as the better known as the San Andreas Fault. Okay, but it's not uncommon. I'm not slapping myself. I'm trying to get this gnat. I don't know what's going on here. There's just a lot of gnats here in California recently, and most of the time they come out when there's moisture, but we don't have moisture out here like the desert. So I'm not for sure what's going on. You probably hear me clap my hands a couple more times here because I don't think I got them. So yeah, watching this region here, folks, in the Salton Sea area, for possible further swarming. But right now, just a handful of quakes. Keeping an eye on this region. Something to watch. The rest of the San Andreas Fault pretty quiet, except for this little 0.9 at 17 kilometers below the plate boundary right there. Let's see what else we got. Movement up north around the geysers. Very typical movement there at the geyser area, and some further movement south of Concord. Looks like right around Walnut Creek, a couple small microquakes in the region. Berkeley getting in on 1.8. This earthquake activity roughly around 9 to 10 kilometers below surface. As we look up here to the north, there was a little small earthquake around the Oroville area. Of course, you got Lake Oroville in the region. What do we got here? There is a couple fault systems that run up here. I think it runs right around this area. Of course, this is as you get into the foothills there in Lake Oroville, Thermalito region, Paradise up here. But USGS not showing any fault systems for this region. But there definitely is some for sure. I wish they included all faults. 2.5, 10 kilometers north of Oroville, 3.0 kilometers below surface. North Table Mountain. Okay, so yeah, just foothills area. Of course, it's not uncommon. Definitely not uncommon to see earthquake activity out there. What else we got here? A little bit of further movement up here around Mount Hood, folks. Check this out. About 5 microquakes hitting the summit area of Mount Hood. Beautiful volcano. I'm going to do my volcano trip here real soon. I got to cover, I'm going to stop at all volcanoes. Shasta north. Actually, I'm going to do Mount Lassen northward. Stop at Mount Lassen, Shasta, and then the volcanoes through the Cascades and up into Washington. I don't know how far north I'll go, but I definitely want to cover Mount Rainier and St. Helens area. Mount Hood's on the list as well. Be doing that real soon. Real soon. So yeah, a couple microquakes popping off there at about most of these 2 kilometers. There is what in the heck? An M0.0 at 4.3 kilometers. Kind of odd. Man. So yeah, most of I don't believe this is volcanic related. In fact, we can check on the tremor map here. Okay, nothing on the tremor. Once again, this is like 3 days in a row of no tremor. But I like to go up here to the volcano seismographs and see the activity on the live seismograph stations that these folks have here. And it doesn't look like, I don't believe that's the earthquake activity. That looks kind of like interference, unless it's adjusted a little off. But to me, that didn't look like earthquake activity on that page. Come on. Oh, there we go. Whoa, what the? Yeah, that's some weird looking stuff right there. Some type of interference, some type of not good stuff going on there. I believe it's just messed up. It doesn't look like anything seismically readable at all. No volcanic activity. You just can't really make anything out there. So let's check out this other 3-component broadband station, the Emerson Butte. We'll check out. Oh man, these guys are. Okay, this one looks a little bit better. So there's a couple of those microquakes, right? You see that? These quakes are well defined, real sharp, meaning that they're real close and local, but they're also small. They're not drawn out. These were bigger quakes in the 2 or 3 range. These things would be much larger on the graph and also spread out more as far as the thickness of this line goes. So a couple small plate tectonic microquakes at the volcano there at Mount Hood. No magma intrusion, nothing that I can see up here. This is from that. Oh man, which earthquake was that? That 6.7 struck in the southeast Pacific Rise. Right? I'm pretty sure that was. Yeah, because those are some waves there from a large earthquake, but a distant earthquake. It's amazing how a large earthquake can ring the bell. It can ring the globe, the Earth, like a bell. The vibrational frequencies are pretty awesome, and everything's frequencies, right? Everything's all about vibration. If you go down to the quantum physics level, which I'm not going to do, we're not going to make it one of those nights, but everything's vibrational. Nothing's actually really solid, believe it or not. It may seem solid, but it's not. Let's see what else we got here, folks. Don't want to start any down the rabbit hole type of stuff. Yeah, so just a couple small microquakes, folks. Kind of worried about the tremor. There's nothing going on. This is day number 3 of zip zero, no tremor being recorded. And there's times, folks, where we have very quiet spells. We're just getting over a pretty extensive, long bout of tremor that was out here in the southern area, western parts of Oregon, along the Coast Range, not along the Coast Range, but underneath the Coast Range, downstream of the North American Plate, and that lasted for a couple months there. So it's not uncommon to see some quiet spells. So we'll see how long this lasts. Further up north, not a whole lot going on around Seattle. Little small quake east of, this here's in the Cascades up here, so Mount Jefferson up there. May have to check that out as well. Other than that, folks, West Coast pretty quiet. No further movement along the Cascadia. No tremor and no microquake activity popping up over the last 24. Movement here in Hawaii looks pretty typical. Southeast flank getting in on a lot of the action once again. Kilauea volcano up here, and Mauna Loa seen a couple small microquakes around the area, but no major change there at the volcanoes in Hawaii. And of course, a trail of earthquakes here across this plate boundary. Actually, nothing major, but definitely getting some movement going on. Some plate shuffling, spreading out through the Himalaya area. It looks like Afghanistan, and further west into West Turkey area. Quite a few forests popping off there, but I think for now, focus over here on the North American Plate and the South American Plate here. Puerto Rico area getting in on some of the action as well. This is kind of our hot spot. X marks the spot for potential further movement. Let's see what else we got here, folks. I think that's about it. Solar weather is looking kind of calm. It's all green across the board right now, folks. Current solar flare threat at a 10%. That's very minimal for a C flare. Every other class, pretty minimal. Over the next couple days, everything in the green. Just a very low chance of higher latitude auroras being visible there. Not even anything to write home about, But it is what it is. The sun will pick up, no doubt. All right, guys, enjoy your Wednesday evening. It's a beautiful Wednesday evening. Let's not forget to appreciate every moment, every second out there. That's for sure. It's life is just way too short, let me tell you. All right, folks, enjoy the evening. We will talk at you guys tomorrow sometime. Stay safe out there. Peace out. Have a good night.